Ladies and gentlemen, yes, last episode of Talk is Cheap. We're gonna cover a lot of stuff today. It's gonna be more of a just laid back conversation. We're gonna talk about where we see the world going in the following areas: UFO, the political, the V to the A to the X. Of course, we gotta use our censorship language, folks. Talk about the hunkering down that's probably gonna happen this winter, if not earlier. And I want to go through some of the pros and cons of the vegan lifestyle. I went through this. I quit probably actually a year ago. So I want to talk about how my experience with that, if anyone's considering that. Tips for a successful life that I think are pretty key to make you be the best you can be. So all that and more up next on Talk is Cheap. Let's play that intro for the last time. Welcome to Talk is Cheap, where cheap is talk and talk is cheap. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Holfa for the official last episode of Talk is Cheap. I want to say that because I always said I might do an episode here or there. We'll see how things go. Again, I can talk about all the reasons. We can get into the why if people want to know if they're just joining why I'm doing this. But before I do that, I got to introduce my co-host here on the left. And he's pretty muffled up, it looks like.
Hey, Dan, how's it going?
It is going. What is up with this, Pete?
I think I'm following the most recent guidelines, Dan, to be safe out there. So
you can never be too safe.
Yeah.
How's that breathing?
It's all right. I'll tell you, the drive over here was challenging, though. I kept hearing people honking and yelling. I don't know, but I got here, so that's good. But yeah, I'm feeling a little lightheaded.
For those listening on the podcast, Pete has himself wrapped in a bunch of face coverings. Can never be too careful. I don't know how those ears are gonna feel after all this.
Oh, all right. Enough's enough. All right.
Yeah, you got to get that off there.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. A little bittersweet this evening, right? Last episode.
It is. So while you put yourself together and get your earpiece in,
I'm just taking a deep breath there.
I'm gonna explain to the folks who just joined us, because I put out a video a while ago, folks, about, hey, it's gonna be the last episode. I went through for that walk and did everything, but I'm thinking it was a mistake to tell people too early, because a lot of people were like, hey, I thought you were done. I thought maybe giving people a buffer was gonna benefit them, but there was a lot of people thinking that we were done, but whatever. This is it.
Were they disappointed we were still going?
Well, it's just like they must not have watched the video, because I explained that we were going to have a few more yet.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to cut everybody off completely, but
yeah.
I wanted to give the Patreon people, a little leeway. By the way, thank you to the Patreon supporters and the other donations. What the hell? PayPal donations, as well as I never even say give enough thanks to the mods in our chat, because they're there doing their thing. Chad and
I'll tell you, there has been a core group of folks that have been with us for a long time, and maybe we don't give enough thanks for that, but obviously the supporters, the mods, we really thank you folks for coming along this journey. Things maybe could have turned out a little different, but here's life.
Well, the thing is, with the censorship, you can only do so much. It's wearing me down. You can't speak what I want to say. That is, I don't think people realize how hard that is. When I have something on my mind, I want to say it. You can't say it, and then we got strikes. I left a message out beginning of July. We got hit with a strike, so we had a warning, and then we got a strike. That doesn't clear out till October, so we got 2 more strikes if they hit us and the channel goes down. That was on an old video for Uncle Jeffrey.
Yeah, right. That was a super old video, I remember. So some folks, in a sense, Dan, we're doing something right? If we've got haters out there like going through the archives, doing everything they can to try to get us in trouble, so we've struck a nerve. But unfortunately, in a sense, we're preaching to the choir here. I mean, I think most of our viewers have already made up their minds about a lot of stuff, especially the more, I guess, recent political, controversial stuff, especially. And if we're not getting out there on searches and YouTube and not getting out there, we're not picking up new viewers. You know, the stuff that we're not. I mean, we do plenty of episodes that aren't controversial and stuff that are kind of fun and entertaining. And
yeah, speaking of which, we will go through on this episode here about some of our favorite highlights. Like I said, this is more going to be a laid back show. We might go for 2 hours. We'll see how it goes. It's the last show, folks. We're gonna crack one. Speaking of which, I'm gonna crack one right now. You ready for this?
I don't know if I've ever seen this, Dan. Okay.
Let's get this on camera.
I've got Pabst Blue Ribbon on my mind.
Okay, well, for those that listening, he's not drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon, but
no, this is truly like black cherry. So I haven't drank in like. I actually figured it out. It's been 4 years, folks. 4 years I was sober. So this is the first time, unless you count the kombucha tea, if I even pronounced that right. The last time I drank was actually when we filmed Weber Cooks here. Hello, Wildcats. This is Weber Cooks, and today we're cooking. So the reason I had to do this was because it helped me calm down. Like you really had to put myself into the depression. If anybody researches Weber Cooks, you can find Stephen Reed. He's the original person that did this. He's an older guy. I don't know if he passed away or not. People got mad at me for making fun of him, but I'm just trying to have fun. And
so I just want to say your like half comatose approach here, that was deliberate, right? That was not you in front of
yeah,
a
this
camera.
was all acting. But
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I actually put some makeup on my eyes to make it look like I didn't have much sleep and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember Tully from work seeing this, and he's like, Dan, you didn't look so good.
No, you look like you have some really rare, disease or something.
But that means I pulled it off.
Yeah.
I think I did a somewhat
and you're
decent
just
job.
hammering buttons on your microwave. I should have watched this. You got 25,000 views on that. Pretty good.
Yeah, because these are long-term views. There's I think there's 4 episodes of this. I can't go back for that, but yeah, there's making cup noodle.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, like not watching it.
There's ramen.
You got popcorn,
and mac and cheese. And if there's a trailer here that's really funny that ties it all together. Basically, man versus microwave, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Your shirt's not tucked in. It looks like it's almost a little big for you, maybe.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to be the one that did that part. I wanted somebody else from work. They never showed up the day of. We called them. They pussed out or whatever.
You know, how many times has that happened on this show?
Right?
Like, oh, love it. And then the time comes and they just ghost us.
Right. But I think he would have been good at the part. But it is what it is. Everybody's talk, and talk is cheap.
Yes.
So.
Cheap is talk, man.
So I got to see how my body handles this after 4 years.
Yeah, this will be interesting. Maybe we'll get him to take his shirt off before the end of the show.
Oh, you've been striving for that, haven't you? By the way, this is my drummer uniform, ladies and gentlemen. I said I would wear it for the last episode. I was in a band, and this was what I wore on stage. The pants is what makes the difference. If you can see that on a wide shot. They got these dangly things. I don't know. I wasn't like...
Are they suspenders?
No, I think it's just it's just a style or whatever. But
cool style, yeah.
It's not something you're probably going to want to wear on a regular... I think I pull it off all right. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have any drumsticks, so you got to do some stick twirls.
Oh, I can go grab one.
Yeah,
the drum set's in the other room. Hold the floor.
Yeah. All right,
we're live.
Yeah, we're live, ladies and gentlemen. So, boy, what to talk about? So, Dan had mentioned that we're going to kind of talk about some past shows, and we did pull some clips together. I spent some time kind of going through the archives, and I would encourage folks if you haven't gone back and seen some of these early episodes back when they started at Dan's brother's apartment and stuff. Some of them are pretty funny, and you can see we've really come a long way. And so we'll be spending some time doing kind of just looking at some old clips. I picked out a handful that I thought were at least noteworthy in one fashion or another.
Yeah, so that's one thing.
Oh, there you go, Dan. That's pretty
good.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
It's been a little while, I guess.
Yeah.
And you can do the 2.
Yeah, and can you wrap us off something on the table or?
Well, a table's gonna sound like shit.
Really, a table's not a drum set? What?
What do you want me to do? Like,
I don't know. Oh, there we go.
I'm not like.
Well, it's not really set up either where your
Yeah.
drums are normally at. But anyway, that's
But
better
I
than I
love
could
playing
do.
because I would play and then like chuck it up in the air and catch it, keep playing. But like,
I need some practice. You can tell he's a little
it's
rusty.
been a while.
You know, if you want, why don't you just bring your drum set out here, set it up quick, and then we can do a
All right,
demonstration.
get right on that, I guess.
Well, thanks for doing that, Dan. That was fun. See,
That's
so
one thing I'll give credit to alcohol for, and you know, some people always want to say it's bad, and it is to a point, but it did something to my mind where like I could do 3 different things at once on a drum set because I everything was so like I only could do the 2, and it took me forever. And then we drank one night. I wasn't much of a drinker. That's why I didn't start drinking until I was probably 22, maybe.
Jeez, you must have been fun.
But like, well, yeah. so that opened up that pathway where I could do 3 different things at once.
Yep. Oh, awesome.
It is
You know,
cool.
I'm just going to throw this out there. You know, alcohol also makes people really good singers. That's how they invented karaoke. But when you look back on videos of people singing karaoke, you know, so maybe anyway, I digress. I think folks know what I'm saying.
All right, so yeah, you talk about the back about how when the show started. Just to give a little backstory, this is the last episode, folks. We're giving a little tribute here. It is what it is. 6 years ago, this started, 2015,
Oh my God, I was thinking about that today.
and
6
you
years.
came in on episode 6.
which is pretty good, man.
Yeah, you stuck with it. You took a little hiatus in between somewhere. It was for a few episodes.
Yeah, just for a few episodes, but not much.
But
It
you
was-
stuck with it.
Yeah.
So hats off to you. So on screen, this was episode 1, and actually I got the same outfit except for the pants on right here.
Yeah. Man, you know, it would have been nice if we would have gotten Dusty back for the show, but oh well, too late now.
Well, I thought about it, but I don't know.
I hear you, brother. This one had a whopping 712 views out there simmering for 6 years.
40, yeah. These were longer episodes. We had to, find the right method of what we were going to talk about, and things got tweaked. It is.
You know, you've improved lighting, you improved sound. The set is
Yeah,
way
so actually,
better.
yeah, as you can see, they actually started out in this room. Then we went to Andrew's apartment.
Oh, you did start out
and
here.
then we came back here. Yeah.
Whoa, what's that a picture of?
The moon.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, I digress. See, I could go back and start over at episode 1 and watch these and still be shocked and surprised.
So I'll talk about you. You got a lot of episodes of your favorite.
Oh, I'm glad.
I will talk about my favorite.
Yes, I'm glad you picked this one. This one was on my short list, but I ultimately did not select it. But this was a really good episode.
This is Paulding Light, episode 79. If anybody wants to watch it, this is my favorite episode. There's a light in Upper UP, Michigan. We went up there, investigated. It was my brother and I. It was cool because we went up there. It was raining, so we stayed there. I think we were up there 3 days or something.
Yeah. You pulled the stops out and did this one right.
We gave it plenty a chance to show up, and it never showed up. It was we ended up figuring out it was the car lights for what you would see on a regular night. Now, people are saying that's not the light. I've never seen
It's
the real light.
so coincidental, and it's almost too coincidental for me to believe that it's, when you look down the same valley and you see car lights, but they're like, oh no, there's other lights. It makes me feel like it's something, it's just too coincidental. But anyway,
but they were saying
I
it would
wasn't
go to
there.
the ground and stuff. Like,
yeah,
like,
if you see,
like right here, you can see where the light. I'm gonna actually fast forward to the light.
yeah, I think that's a good one.
Yeah,
Is
because
that
we
your
actually,
hotel room?
yeah,
there?
we investigated. By the way, rooms were cheap there. It was like $98, and I actually put my name on the clock at like no zero.
Of course you would.
No, I mean,
Oh, technology. Let's.
I
get
mean,
in
when
there.
I checked in, that it was automatically there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
oh, awesome.
that was interesting, especially for like kind of a hick town like that.
Yeah.
So here is the light.
That you've videoed this light.
Yes. So my brother drove out there in his car, and he's flashing the headlights. We know it's him. Like I said, flash your headlights, and there he is. So, and a lot of people that don't know any better, they go there to see the light, and this
then
is
a
what
car
they get.
goes by. Yeah, and right. So it really contributes to false identifications, and that's what makes it so questionable to me. It's like, okay, hold on. There's a road there. You can pick up the lights, and now who knows what could happen if you're wasted drunk. The lights could look like they're moving.
There's the spotlight, so we know. And then I had him put the red cap on, and we went through it all. It was debunked right there. But again, this wasn't officially the real light from what we hear. They had,
of course it wouldn't be, because you debunked it.
a
right?
TV show. I can't remember what the name of the show was off my top of my head. If it was something on the History Channel, I think. But they did it. They couldn't even do this. This is two guys with like a handy cam. Went out there and filmed it. And it wasn't that hard for us to do. The thing is, a lot of people think the light shines earlier and it's farther down. And I go through and explain it all in the video. It was cool doing the research. Again, it was a lot of work to edit something like this, but it was fun. I actually like on-site, on boots on the ground type of stuff. I love doing that. But
Okay.
again, more work to edit.
So here's a picture that I just pulled up on my cell phone for Dan to look at of the Paulding lights. That's allegedly a photo of it.
Yeah, so that would be a headlight there, because you can see it's way in the distance. Yeah, and I even have it here, like, you're the light, and we map it out on the roads.
Yeah, everything's coming. Yeah, like, I mean,
yeah,
that it almost to a T looks like what you view video.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, people don't know, and this stuff gets overhyped, and I kind of got a little pissy with the research community that we need to be a little more critical of things and say, hey, is this real? Does it make sense? Let's try to check the facts before we jump to conclusions.
Yeah, right. And every one of these pictures, I'm just scrolling through my phone. Every one of these pictures shows it in the same spot, which is right where we saw it when Andy was going there.
So yeah, I guess that's all about I had to say on that. So again, that's my favorite episode. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. So you got a few clips that you wanted to show people.
Okay, so one of my favorite episodes we did, which also had one of the weirdest things that's happened to me out in the woods, not maybe the weirdest, but one of the weirdest, is our episode 100, the Bigfoot hunt that we did at the Kickapoo Valley Reserve. And to kind of preface it, is when we were split up into two groups. If you recall, Eric and I had gone down. We thought we had heard voices and saw some glow, and we wanted to see if people were camping out there. We didn't want to disturb them and whatnot. And so Eric and I went ahead, and then as we were coming back, there was a stick or something came crashing through the leaves. And what was so crazy is
I was with you guys.
Yeah.
My group.
Yep. And we thought that the other group that we left behind threw a stick at us, and they thought we threw a stick at them. And when we got together, it was like, it's this whole exchange of, you did it. No, you did it. No, wait, nobody did it. What's going on? So anyway, there was I thought it was a pretty awesome little thing for us to experience out there. Still unexplained to this time. And boy, I look rough in that picture. You can tell I had a late night the night before.
Yeah. So this is probably my second favorite, I want to say. What was really interesting to me about this,
Eric's Bigfoot mobile. That was
got
awesome.
that nice shot of the exhaust
coming out. I got to get a hold of Eric again. He was awesome. I like that guy.
But
Hans was good.
What was surprising to me about this episode, I think you have the clip here at 22 minutes.
I marked it.
Is the sound? Should we see if we can hear something?
Yeah. Let's jack up the sound. Everybody listen here.
It doesn't look like this is the campsite.
No, doesn't.
As Eric and Pete returned to the main group, more excitement happened.
And the lady, sends you some. Yeah, I hear someone talking.
They must have threw something up there. They had to have, because they're way too far down from where that noise was. Right. So if they come back and they're fucking with us.
But that's not the case. Here's Eric and Pete's perspective.
Did you hear that? I sure did. Something from the trees again or something. Mm-hmm.
Prepare for a pummeling.
Did you guys hear that up there?
Listen to this.
Oh, did you?
No, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
You didn't, right? Come on.
Don't fuck around, Pete.
Don't fuck around. We're trying to do an investigation.
You said
you
you
guys are
serious.
fucking with us. You said we figured you threw something. No.
You threw something, Pete. You didn't want this to be fake, and now you're faking it.
You guys are
So yeah.
So we get back and we're accusing each other of throwing stuff. And actually, if you can see it, look at the look on Eric's face. He's still processing, like, what is going on? But yeah, it's funny because, you know, and what's so weird is that we both felt the other group threw something at us.
Yeah. Well, a lot of things, we heard that sound a lot when we were out there. And I think, like, branches were falling off trees or something.
But how, you know what?
You don't think that would happen that much? But this isn't the biggest thing about this show. I can't remember where it's at, but we heard the knocks. Remember that?
Oh yeah, briefly.
I don't remember the time code. That's the problem. So.
And I didn't watch the whole thing. That's right. But this to me was personally was a little more important than the knocks because.
Are you serious?
Yes, because okay. I deer hunt, man. I sit in trees for hours, dude. All right. And I never have in my life just had a branch randomly fall around me. And this was not if you heard us when Eric and I were talking, I go, something in the trees again. There was stuff going on in the trees, like kind of multiple times that night around us.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. We heard it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the knock thing to me seems more important because it's the 3 distinct knocks on the tree.
Yep.
And like we did the knocks before. No, somebody else could be out there.
Yeah.
Granted, because I think a lot of people go to the KVR to Bigfoot hunt.
Oh well, they just go out and spend, and you get the kids dropping their LSD and walking around and stuff like that.
So
too.
Maybe they were doing something.
Well,
I don't know.
But I'll tell you what, man. I don't know if. You know, I don't know how somebody would have gotten in there to I mean, because this thing came like through the treetops and was right off the trail. I don't know. That was the super coolest part of that expedition for me. But we did have some really neat.
Yeah. So what do we think?
But it was really. I love the cinematography of this one. It took a lot of editing.
Yeah, and your brother was big time helpful too. He definitely deserves some kudos for this.
Looks like it's at 1,400 views. I would have loved to have saw that get a little more views than that. But
yeah, and folks listening, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Episode 100. It's the Bigfoot one, and at the end there is a little bit of a fun spot at the end where I hid up in the trees and came running out at the guys and scared the bejesus out.
And I think that was the only time we screwed with you. Well, you screwed with your cigarette you had for the firefly thing at one point.
Yeah, well, you know, I smoke, so.
So yeah, that was that. What else you got?
Oh, what's the next one here? I had a whole thing. Oh, shadow people, dude. This was one of the episodes I was reviewing some of the videos that we shared on this episode and got goosebumps again. Shadow people. There's some weird footage of shadow people out there, folks, that you need to check out. And I thought that it would be kind of cool just to really quickly look at some of the video footage that we didn't capture that we found out there. But what's really cool about this is when you watch the reactions of the people in the videos and the genuineness of their surprise when this smoky figure passes behind them, it's pretty cool.
Let's look at some video.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
So there's quite a bit of these. I kind of found a couple good ones here. It's gonna be very quick.
Yep, saw it.
I'll slow it down.
The guy saw it.
Yeah, it goes by.
Look at that.
Oh my God, I
I
just got goosebumps
and that's
again.
like,
And he's freaking out. Look at the guy's like, what the hell was that? He's pointing right away. That's the exact same color too, a smoky gray, black.
Take to fake something like that.
I don't know, man. This is weird too, man.
Yeah, so for the let's back up here because there's some people that are listening to the audio. So what we got here is basically it looks like smoke, but it's like it goes by fast in a doorway.
Mm-hmm. There's like a group of people. There's some dude in a guitar. It looks like maybe somebody's on a computer. They're just kind of hanging out. And all of a sudden, it's like whoosh, it goes by the open door.
And I know a lot of people can attest to this. Like when you're doing something. Actually, I haven't had it happen to me in a long time.
Me neither.
But you see something out of the corner of your eyes. I have never had that happen in a long time. So I don't know if we're not access to that dimension anymore, or what happened. Oh yeah, this one too had a
yeah. And then what's weird is this, and then this next video, it shows like a street view. It looks like some closed circuit television. There's motorcycles going by a van, and you can see this like light, cloudy figure kind of pass in front of the van, and then one of the motorcycles just dumps. I mean, with no real explanation or anything about it. My hat is new there too. That's kind of cool. But boom, and it's like a little light color, and then it just kind of, the trajectory would run it into the guy, and he just dumps. I don't know.
Maybe he hit the other guy on the motorcycle.
He was. It
It's
looked like
really close.
Yeah, he did get. Maybe he did clip it, but it was.
Maybe he hit the saddlebag or something.
Yeah, could have been.
And that's the thing. There's a lot of fakery too.
I don't think this is fake. This could be just misinterpreted. It could be a light, a little moth or something flying by.
I'm gonna see if I can find that one clip. Yeah, right here. Because this is a good reason of why some stuff like this can be fake and people take it too literally.
Is this the bug on the camera?
Yeah. So this is a restaurant security cam in the corner, and you start to see this shadowy figure coming in from I believe it's from the door. Let's see. Where is that? Okay, down below here, going up.
Yeah.
And all it's something as simple as a bug walking on your lens, and it's not focused on.
Yeah, it's out of focus.
So I mean, there can be plausible explanations. You just got to really figure this stuff out.
If you go back to the original timestamp, there was one where it was like clearly a humanoid figure.
Original. Oh, your timestamp?
Yeah.
Weird. That was the smoke though.
Yeah, keep going. Go after that one. Where is it here?
Oh, that's the cat.
Yeah, not that one.
It was after the smoke in the hallway.
I can't remember. I don't have my notes with me to know where the.
Well, I don't want to.
It was all like it was within like 30 seconds of my original timestamp. If you remember what that one was.
You can't remember if it was before or after the.
I think you keep going. Keep going. Oh, let's see what that one is.
What was it?
Yeah, this is one. Oh. That's very clearly a humanoid figure. Now, watch that.
So yeah, this is you
can see him taking steps. You can see the legs, and just passes kind of through. But again, that could be easily manipulated. Oh, this is a good one too, man. And now watch this. The guy's like on a video, his camera screen, turns off his light, checks his night vision, sees a figure, whips around, and then it kind of just dissolves.
I don't necessarily know if he's seen him, but he could probably sense it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I think he's looking at his screen, which shows it.
Xbox Connect.
Yeah. And that's just, if I walked into a room and saw this, man, I'd be the F out of there.
All right, let's go to your next clip. Past memory.
I want to play too. The fifth case we're going to talk about here is a kid by the name of Luke Ruhlman. Okay. This kid had memories about being a girl named Pam who died in a fire. And we're going to watch a very short clip of a video here where Luke and his mother are taking a test. And the story goes is that, he started having these memories of dying in a fire. Luke's mother thought this was weird, started doing some research, figured out he was talking about Chicago, and he described an apartment building and falling, and she was able to find an apartment complex that started on fire and a woman named Pam dying in it. And Pam was an African-American woman. And here we have obviously a Caucasian, a white young boy. So what Luke's mom did was she took a picture of Pam and put it amongst all these other pictures, a dozen or so other pictures of women, and said, "Hey, do you recognize anybody of this?" And they videotaped it from a TV show called Profound Ghost Inside My Child. And I just want to take just a few minutes or a few seconds to watch this. This is him getting the picture test done.
Oh, yes.
The picture test.
Damn it. All right.
To put the now 5-year-old to the test.
I had found a picture of Pam, and we had put it on a sheet of paper with a bunch of fake pictures.
What's familiar mean?
I didn't really think that he was going to pick the right one.
But with the cameras rolling,
I know someone I can recognize.
But I remember when this one was taken, and he pointed to the correct one.
I just got goosebumps.
Nice.
Crazy.
This happens a lot.
It took me a couple days
That's
to wrap my
creepy,
head around
Dano.
it.
That's crazy.
Again, the University of Virginia, if you go on their website, they are still studying this phenomena. They have, I believe, over 2,300 documented cases of this phenomena. All right. Of this phenomena. and go right to their website. You can look at it. They're still spending money and faculty on studying this. Over 2,000 documented incidents of past lives and memories of children. So for those that may know, may not know, I have a daughter that's about 3 years old now. She'll be 3 in a couple weeks. And she's still saying this. I brought this up, I don't know, a month or so ago on the show. But she talks about on occasion when she was a big person. And I'm trying to kind of like parse out more information on that. And sometimes I feel like she's just kind of making it up, but other times it's just kind of weird. She talks about things, and she's finally getting to the point now where she can start to draw photos or pictures that look like stuff. So one of our, I can't remember who was it, Athena, I can't remember, said, hey, next time she's talking about it, have her draw pictures. So we're getting to that stage. So if you have small children, in your life that start talking about stuff that like doesn't really seem to fit in, don't discourage them. Try to get them to expand on it, because no joke, this is a real phenomenon that's going on out there. And Luke was a great example of that. It was just phenomenal.
There's one thing I didn't lose is having to take a piss all the time you went.
Yeah,
to
right. Dude, you had like 4 sips of that.
You think that's bad? You should see my brother. He's worse than me.
You broke the seal, man.
Yeah, you're supposed to wait. What is that? So it makes a seal? Is that how that works?
Well, allegedly, once you break the seal, then it just keeps going.
And then
Oh,
I had to go pretty bad.
Yeah, the Donald Marshall episode. Dan, this was the first episode that really started to blow my mind about some of the quote unquote crazy stuff that's out there. For those that don't know, Donald Marshall. And Dan, jump in here because I think you know a little bit more about it than I do. But
yeah, there's this big story through with this.
Yeah, there is, and about how the elite and Mila Kunis was involved in this too, right? Yeah.
Yes.
About how let
me get the sound bite for that one.
The elite can
basically
teleport their consciousness out of their bodies into other bodies, and then they do heinous, awful things to other people. And Donald Marshall, not Marshall Young. Donald Marshall was one of these guys that was like...
Yeah, be careful with your words, too.
Yeah, was one of these folks that had experienced like the torture. He was brought out of his body, put in another, and was tortured and stuff. And anyway, blew my mind. And I found this really cool clip from Australia that I thought was just, this is more of a comical approach. But anyway, if you haven't seen the Donald Marshall episode 70, check it out because it's freaking weird. But this is more of a comical one. I'm assuming it's Ms. AW3000 recommended this topic about Donald Marshall. Okay, I hadn't heard about Donald Marshall. Mm-hmm. I started reading some of the stuff online about him and what his claims, and all I could think about was this video clip. And I'm going to play the video clip first because about 3 or 4 times I'm going between different websites reading about this, I had the same reaction. Okay, mm-hmm. So a lot of our viewers probably have already seen this, but I'm going to play it for everybody just in case you haven't. And this is how I felt many times moving through this particular topic.
The whale part.
I mean, the shark. Yeah, this is awesome. We have a giant shark here. I don't feel like a giant shark.
Right there.
Right there. Okay, so that's how I felt right there. And I'm going to play this one more time because it's so classic. It's freaking classic.
Go full screen.
Okay, we're going to bump this sucker up full screen. We're going to play it again. Okay, here's the shark. Right there. That's how I felt. Okay, and I think that my shock meter is set pretty high, or whatever. Yeah. It takes a lot for me to do this.
It was a lot of crazy stuff. And when you talk about all this stuff that was going on, and like I said, there's a whole backstory to this too, because we were trying to get him on the show at one point.
Yep.
Had to go through some other guy who, I don't know, he was yanking my chain for the longest time, and then he lost my number, and then he tried to get a hold of me again. I was sitting with him on the phone for like an hour, but I think he was just so messed up on drugs, but whatever. I don't want to put anybody down.
Or just messed up.
But it was really weird, and if he's like that, is Donald Marshall like that, or it comes with the territory, I suppose. I don't know.
Well, what's difficult is where's the proof, right? But the story itself was mind blowing, and if you're not familiar with the Donald Marshall story,
and a lot of this stuff is actually somewhat coming to light.
Yeah, it doesn't rise to the level of proof by any means, right?
Well,
But
trafficking.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Start.
Yeah, and that's a thing too. It's like, it was almost like before. I mean, is the mainstream even aware of the trafficking that's going on? I mean, before we took a step with the whole pedophilia ring and the sex trafficking children and stuff, and this was is all part of it. And if this is true, man, what we've got is like a group of elite that have like wicked technology, and they're doing whatever the F they want to anybody, and which is scary.
So, okay, next episode then.
Yeah, what do I got next?
I just summons UFO.
Oh, this one was awesome. I think anybody that's ever watched this show know that we're all about UFOs, aliens, and stuff. But this was a newscast, and I can't remember exactly when the newscast was done. But it was they were interviewing this guy that claimed he could summon UFOs just by basically praying or willing it, and they caught it on camera. And this one is worthy of checking out.
This one blew my mind. It's like I knew about this probably 3-4 years ago. This added to my shit, like knowing that UFOs and aliens are real, because this guy out of the blue says he can summon UFOs, and he brings News 13. So we're not talking about the mainstream Fox News that's gonna fucking whitewash it. This is the local shit.
Yeah, it'll never make national stage, but
Right.
it'll run in the local area.
Brought him out and summons a UFO for him on TV.
Is this America? I'm sorry. Did you say where this was yet?
ABC is
Correct,
right?
It is ABC.
American Broadcast Company or a corporation?
Do they have ABC? Do they have a big one?
ABC 13.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
I can't hear him.
We met up with Prophet Yahweh, seer of Yahweh, at Doolittle Park off Lake Mead. We picked the day, we picked the time, and we picked the location.
Wow.
Everyone's going to think you're absolutely nuts. Well, I thought I was absolutely nuts.
Until he says he saw UFOs. Over the years, 1,500 of them.
Can we make it 1,501 today? What do you think? I'll try it.
He says the voice in his head told him to go public now. So we took him up on his offer, and we scanned the skies. Nothing but a few clouds. When the prophet started praying for a sighting, I wasn't exactly convinced.
I pray, oh Yahweh, that you send a sighting so that they know that I am not mentally ill. I am not a false prophet, like those who seek to kill me say I am.
I see something straight up.
Oh, brother, look here, there it is.
You can barely see it, a white speck. Then another sighting.
There it is, I got it.
Photojournalist Jonathan Hawkins locks in on it. Let's take a closer look here. It's an orange sphere that appeared out of nowhere. I call the boss with an unexpected change in my story.
I can see it clear as day. In fact, it's bright. It's moving pretty fast.
It's going
This
to
is
Nellis Air Force
crazy,
Base.
man.
It wants to be seen.
We called Nellis to see what these things might be. Guess what? They didn't call us back.
Surprise!
Coming toward us now, I think.
So yeah, that's
Dude, we got to figure out. I'm like, we got to do a show on this guy. Can't see where he's at today. But I mean, how can you? You just can't fake that. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Well, I've mentioned this
it.
before when we went out to James Gillen's ranch and came back. I've brought UFOs in before with my mind.
Yeah, you
only
had
a
talked
couple
about that.
times.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
happened once after James and once a long time ago before. But the fact that you can say, "Show me something," and then right at the time you asked for it, it shows up. It's like that's a hell of a coincidence.
Yeah.
Did you say you seen something in the sky too?
Yeah. No, I saw burst. What do they call? It's escaping me.
Supernova.
No, it was like basically what it looked like a satellite going. I remember because I was walking down off the deck of my Porsche. I look up, I see what looks to be a satellite, and then it just like, yeah, power up. I saw power up. Yeah. Yep. And it like went really bright.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see.
And then went back to a small beam and then disappeared, but it was moving slow.
And then I asked for it, and it happened. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't ask for that. I just happened to look up and saw it.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, if you guys ever try, I mean, there's the Stephen Greer stuff at the CE5. I'll talk about Stephen Greer later, but he's got an app and stuff, and I worked so much like trying to actually have a UFO land and get contact, and I couldn't really. It was hard to get him to show up in the sky, let alone like
come down and give you a flyby.
But I've always said this on the show before, and I'll say it again. I had a dream one time, at least I think it was a dream.
Ooh.
Of a ship landing, and like I was farther back in like a field, and then they landed down. And I kept my distance, but I wanted to just see who it was. Like, if it's the Greys, I'm not really going to approach. I don't know if you think about it, they could send you this stuff to your head to see if you're ready to meet them or not.
Yep.
And
yeah, because it's very telepathical.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think I probably failed because, I kind of hid behind that rock. But that's what you would do. I mean, I'm going to see who it is, because the Greys technically are more of a hostile race, and then that gets into a whole thing.
Yeah, right.
Different groups and whatever, but that's what we're taught in UFO school. All right, so tinfoil hat.
Yeah, this one was a fun one, man. For those that have been following,
do you need audio, or should we just play the B-roll?
Oh, you can just play the B-roll. So anyway, we did an episode. We looked into tinfoil hats, right? Because that's the whole conspiracy crowd. Oh, tinfoil hat wearers, folks. If you want to learn how to make a tinfoil hat, was it episode 30? I believe it was, or something like that. 31. Excuse me. You can tune into episode 31. But what's interesting is what we found at the end of this is that unless you can completely enclose yourself in tinfoil and create a Faraday cage, it is actually amplifying commercial banned commercial and government banned frequencies. So really, the whole tinfoil hat thing could be a ploy to get those that are resisting the mind control to put an amplifier on their head, right? Because for those that are probably over the age of 35 or at least definitely over the age of 40, remember the time before cable TV, before Wi-Fi and satellite and stuff.
Well,
and you had rabbit ears
34 and I remember that.
Yeah, and you had rabbit ears on your TV. And what did you do when you wanted to improve your reception? You grabbed your tinfoil and you made rabbit ears. So really, a tinfoil hat, all it is rabbit ears on your brain. So not recommended to make tinfoil hats to keep out the frequencies, unless you can completely wrap your room or yourself in it. Then it creates a Faraday cage. So, but anyway, we've got Dan, Dusty, and myself making tinfoil hats, and of course, Dusty with his comic relief. It kind of takes it over the top.
I think he went through a breakup at this time, so he was really like on edge.
Dusty, from the time I've known Dusty, he was either in the honeymoon phase of a relationship or the breakup phase. He never really actually spent.
Yeah, there really wasn't much of an in between.
No, there was never this like stagnant soul sucking period that most people experience in relationships.
Is that where you are now? No comment. Yeah, so also, if you wrap your phone in tinfoil, that's a good way to block the signal.
Yeah, because you've created a Faraday cage around it.
A lot of these phones now, you can't take the battery out like an iPhone. I think you might be able to on Android. But actually, some people are saying they can still track you even if you take the battery out. So just if you really don't want, if SHIT hits the fan and you got to go off grid, but you still want the phone in case whatever, or use it as a pocket computer, wrap it in tinfoil and bring it with you, and at least you have it, I guess.
Well, when the crap hits the fan, what good's your phone going to be anyway? Just pitch it in the nearest river.
Well, for cell service, yes, but think about if you have, I don't know, something on there that would help, a flashlight. I don't know.
All right,
Could be
or
anything.
some sort of first aid app or something like that.
Yeah, there's plenty of apps. So, we'll talk about that later.
Wait, I was like, what is going on?
I guess we can kind of get into the lifestyle. So that was all the clips, folks. Last episode, just kind of wanted to go through it, say this is what we like. Go check some of this stuff out. I see a lot of people in the chat were saying, "Oh, why is this the last episode?" and all that. I talked about it at the beginning. Long story short, YouTube is becoming very sensitive. This is kicking in right now.
Yeah, good talk,
4 years it's been. But you got to do what you got to do. When you got to censor yourself, I think a lot of people don't understand this. When you censor yourself and you want to speak your mind, that's wearing you down.
Mhm.
And not to mention that there's a lot of work that goes into it doing a show like this. And I ironed it out the best I could to make it less work, but it's still like, I think a lot of it is the censorship. And it gets to you after a while. It sucks because, you work so hard building something like this. A lot of people came and gone. I mean, Dusty got busy with some of his lifestyle. We had the ghost guy on, I can't remember his name, Boyd. He was on here for a little while, but I guess he didn't feel like he fit in. And then I was always trying to get a replacement, and never worked out. Again, not saying that this is the end. If there's something worth covering and it's like really important, again, we're sticking more towards like the UFO stuff. I'll do a little quick video blurb about it, because nobody can sit through a long video anymore. Like if there is UFO disclosure, hey, this happened, it's great, and then we can break that down. It's a victory, and it is what it is. I wanted to switch to another platform, but when you do that, you're going to lose like 80% of your audience to get them all over there, and it needs to be weekly too. So then Pete couldn't do weekly. So that's how it worked out. So, I gave it a chance. I gave it, like I said, I've been thinking about this for over a year now, probably 2, just seeing how things would turn out, and it never got better. So again, a lot of people are leaving YouTube just because of how bad it's gotten. And thinking about this too, the mainstream media, like people went to YouTube because they were sick of mainstream media. Then mainstream media came on, and now they're kicking all the alternatives off and keeping mainstream on there. So it's cable television now. But it is what it is. And then you put all this work into videos, and your shadow bans, you're getting low views, and then somebody puts up a video of a dog or something, gets 100,000 plus. What a way to make some extra side cash that way. That's why I don't want to completely burn this bridge either, because I might want to use it someday. If you have to take the V to the A to the X, I don't want to do that. So I need to be able to get another income somewhere else. And of course, they got my tax information, so they would know it's me. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to the vegan lifestyle pros and cons, because I lived through this stuff, folks. Again, let's talk about the drinks. I quit drinking 4 years ago. Last time I did it was with the Weber Cooks, and the reason I quit doing it was because when I was doing this show, when I would engage with other members on the panel, when I got all this tech stuff going on, I got to make sure the camera was on. We used to record on every camera, and it was pre-recorded, and then you mix it later. But I wanted to make sure everything was working. And you got audio, and you don't want to make sure you don't have audio after you filmed all day. So you're trying to glance at that stuff, do that, make sure everything's working. It would take me out of the conversation with the panel as we were doing things, and it'd be that I would ask them a question that they were just talking about, and it was the drinking, because your mind gets offset. We all know this. It's worse when I'm trying to focus, and you can focus on one thing, but I'm trying to focus on tech, and I can't listen and do the same thing, and then run the cameras and everything else. So yeah, that's why I quit again, and try a healthier lifestyle and see if my memory got better. It did. I could remember things a lot clearer, episodes, what we did. Not saying it got 100% better, but it did. So if you really want to rebuild your memory, that's one thing. Another thing I mentioned to Lauren, I see she's in the chat, to promote a product, there's a product on Alex Jones called Brain Force. I use that daily. It gets rid of the brain fog. Like, boom, if you gotta, even when you go to work and you have to sit at a desk, taking that, like within a half an hour, it's like, and it says to take 2, I take 1, but it's like you can equate it to like using like the what's that movie with the Limitless pill. Like, it's crazy how good that is. But I recommend that. Not to sell a product, because I'm not sponsored by, but that I like that product. Okay, the vegan lifestyle pros and cons. I want to talk about this because I lived through it. It's the last episode, folks. So I want to give people who are interested in what I went through. So I wish Pete was here for this part, because he could reiterate. Maybe he's coming in. I think he's on bathroom break. Here he is. So I want to do here for this because I wanted to talk about like what happened with me. So I'm the vegan lifestyle, pros and cons. So let's go through I'm going to go through the pros real quick. Number one, I felt lighter. It was easier. It felt easier to move. Like you weren't like, I guess, I don't want to say completely lethargic because one of my cons is lethargic. It's more like you have less
body mass,
spunk. I get, yeah,
because you're waning away to
but
nothing.
it feels like you're ready to go and you can do stuff. I would say the meditations were better, and I guess that's all I have for pros. So cons, the number one was you got drained faster. Now we were coming back from ECETI, coming over that bridge, and I just totally lost power. I was like, Pete, I can't talk to you right now. We had to get a restaurant on the other side. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like make it like waiting for the food to come even. It was scary because we were at James' Places and I wasn't eating meat at that time, so I was trying to. I think we had, what the hell did we eat? We had the sandwiches, but I think I just threw like lettuce on there, and stuff like that. But it wasn't. I wasn't getting my nutrients, so that's another thing I want to say is you got to make sure you're getting the proper nutrients.
Monitor your nutrient intake. That's for sure.
And it's a challenge when you're doing something like that and you're out. Wheatgrass was one of the things to make sure you take when you do that, because that helps the lethargic you felt, because of also making sure you get the B12 vitamins, because you normally get that from meat, but you got a supplement for that otherwise. And then fats.
Iron, of course. Eat your beans, you get your iron.
Yeah, and fats, like, so you'd have to use the avocado. Once I remember for a while there, my brain function was down, and I had an avocado, and like it tasted really good, and then I was fine. And then another con is lack of muscle growth. See, I've been pumping out.
Yeah. Dan's got a set of guns on him. Although I eat meat and I don't have those kind of guns, but
wait, show the camera.
I don't work out.
You said you did at one point.
At one point, I was buff there. I was taking powders and muscle builders and was up above 200 pounds, pretty lean, mean. But then I got away from that.
Dragon in the chat says, "Do you know about that herb, not weed, that sends your mind to different dimensions?"
Is it salvia? I've heard about that.
I heard, yeah, that's an interesting one too. But there was another one. DMT.
Monster.
DMT was the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, I don't think that's a weed.
It may probably not. I don't know.
Oh, Greg mentioned his favorite episode, the interview with Allison Coe. Real quick, man, you had some pretty good, some pretty quote unquote high profile guests on this show. I mean, Allison was one. We met her at ECETI, and she was awesome and beautiful and just really it's so inspiring to talk to. And then ayahuasca.
Oh yeah, ayahuasca. Yep.
Yeah,
that's something I would consider trying, but you're gonna shit your pants when you do that, so you got to be prepared for that.
Well, big deal. Just add it to
and
the list.
Probably to throw up too. So it's more of like a cleanse, they say.
Is that, we talked about that in one of the episodes too, about how we wanted to try that.
Yeah, I guess there's one down in Florida you can do, and then otherwise the real one is down in the Amazons.
Well,
if you want to get the shamans and stuff.
Yeah, and some weird disease because we're not used to that area.
But it would be. I always wanted to do it, but now I don't know.
Yeah, ECETI episodes were great. Who else did you interview on the show, Dan?
A lot of people. The first person I interviewed was Michael Tellinger with the One Town.
Yeah.
What was that? One Small Town. See how that works?
Yeah, well, that was in Africa, right? Didn't he set it up?
Yeah, but remember, I actually, during the interview, because he was setting up this community center and all this stuff, or like it was an old gym, and then it was worked out great. But he said like the township came in and then they took it from him. And it's like, that's how communism works.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, you got something nice here. We're going to take it. Yeah, that was kind of like on the beginning of discussions of rainbow currency and stuff like that, right? Wasn't that it?
Yeah. Speaking of which, where the hell is the rainbow currency?
Where the hell's the disclosure? Where the hell are the indictments, man? All of this stuff is just.
Well, we'll talk about it more because I guess I got a couple more life tips before we switch over to our outlook on life.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the event and stuff, I don't think I believe the event anymore. And I know a lot of people are going to be hurt about that, but if it happens, great. But I'm not gonna like focus on that anymore.
If you recall, when we talk about the event, it's like, you know, this feeling people have, right, of just you know, not being satisfied that something's going to change, and I feel like we're still building on it. I think that a lot of people were ready for the quote unquote climax to occur, the turning point, but I think we're still on the upswing on that, because just look around and talk to people. People aren't happy. They know something's got to change, and just the tension is in the air, man. And you know, personally, I think the first thing we need to do is just stop with the damn politics. Stop letting the left or the right or whatever dictate your life, and start thinking about it. Be good to people, be decent human beings, and that will scare the hell out of them. And as soon as we take back that power, then it's over. Then there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, Ninja, we'll see how the future goes. This studio is going to be tore down. I'm going to say that right now. Like, we got Wrecking Crew on standby.
Yeah, they're outside smoking cigarettes and drinking beer right now.
Because I've always thought about moving to Arizona. I can't. I got to go beta test it yet, which would have been done if it wasn't for this P to the A to the C to the demic, whatever.
Okay, that's not how you spell it.
It's not, but I'm drunk, so I get a pass.
I'm just like, okay, that wasn't even close to end, but all right.
It's hard to think about all that when you're trying to say it.
Ambi, I love your positivity, and absolutely, you know, I do feel that something's coming, and when things pick up some pace, we have like some big event, you know, expect us back at some point. But it would be
like a Skype thing unless we sit in the same room or whatever. But this, like I said, this studio is gone. My brother owns half of this stuff. I want to get this all figured out, and it's good to have time to get like stuff sold before I move and don't have to worry about it.
And you know, it does make me feel good that, you know, if anything, even beyond just the entertainment value, if folks watched the show and took the time to do some reflecting on themselves, reflecting on the world, and, you know, and helped them form their worldview. I mean, I'm very humbled that we could be part of that, and grateful that you joined us for the journey. I mean, you know, I really approach it as I've always approached it as just a learning opportunity for me. Of course, I am very humorous. I like the comedic part, but there's things that, you know, this show has made me really question things and think critically about things.
And we've learned a lot. Like, there's topics I wouldn't have researched at all, but people suggested them.
Yeah.
Like, opened my mind. Like, holy cow.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is amazing. How come I haven't heard about this before? And it's folks like you that helped us as well form those views.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see what the future brings, but maybe YouTube will open back up or something. I don't know.
Or, you know, another platform will take off. And that's the challenge. It's like, just people just aren't on the other platforms enough.
Yeah, it's not so much like going to a different platform, because everybody's, I can see in the chat, are mentioning platforms. It's not the platform that's the problem. It's getting people over there. Everybody wants to be where the monetization is, and that's YouTube right now. And, you know, everybody's got it in their head. My mom's this way too. Like, she thought like Facebook was the internet. It's like, no, it's a website. Right. Yeah, so I mean, it's ingrained in our mind. And it's muscle memory. Even like me, when I want to look a video up, you know, I go to YouTube.
YouTube, that's what you do, man.
It's just that they've conditioned us, and now they're pulling the plug.
Yep.
So we had
well, they get us in there, right? And then they start the manipulation. So when you get to a certain point, you've got this viewership, and now the elitists get involved, and now you can start, you know, manipulating to whatever agenda you are. And most of the time, when they get to this level, it's about more power, more money, and what they can do to continue to assert themselves as, you know, like you know, moguls on the planet. You know, I mean, why is Bill Gates even in the medical field, man? What that's ego there. Look at you know, Zuckerberg. You know, you really want to lose your opinion of Zuckerberg, do some research and really find out how Facebook started and what the intent of that was like so sexually exploitative, however you want to say that, was very misogynistic, and then now he's like a billionaire that everybody worships. It's crazy, and we wonder why we have problems with sexual predation at that level and harassment, and you know, look at what's happening out in New York now. It's like these folks just get to a point and then they do whatever the heck they want.
I'm gonna do this again.
I've got past blue ribbon on my mind.
That's number 2, folks. This is going to get interesting.
It's not a PBR, by the way. It's the same thing, except strawberry flavor.
It's a strawberry lemonade truly. Oh, and you had a black cherry lemonade truly before.
That PBR song got stuck in my head. If anybody listens to No Agenda Show, that's obviously where I got it from.
Oh,
because they take before their break, he cracks it open, and then they play that.
They play that, yeah.
And of course, they ain't a PBR.
I've got past blue ribbon on my mind.
I love it.
Actually, I'm a big fan of PBR.
I used to drink that for a little bit too, there, in the glory days, if you will. But,
Ooh, Clout Hub. I haven't heard of that one yet. Have you, Dan?
Clout Hub. No, that's a new one. There's so many. Like, actually, Rumble's not that bad. I will say that. BitChute is terrible. I thought they would improve stuff, and they never have.
I was on BitChute for a little bit, and just the search function sucked,
you think it's
man.
bad to search for a video? Sometimes I have to try to upload a video like 5 times before it finally goes on there. Yeah, it's like, what the hell?
I haven't been on BitChute in a year at least, probably now. A long time, because I got so frustrated trying to find stuff. I would type in K2D4 talk is cheap and
nothing.
And nothing. What, guys? What?
Yeah. Okay, so I want to finish up with the we got a little sidetrack there. I want to finish up with the health stuff.
Oh yeah. Vegan health.
Well, we already finished that. I'm gonna go with tips for a successful life now.
Oh,
now this
there
is
we
what
go.
I
Okay.
used. People can look at me like, oh, you're not that great, whatever. I'm just trying to get what worked for me. So tips that I have is, number 1, exercise and working out. I know a lot of us don't have time. Try to find a schedule, whether it's 2 times a week, 3 times a week. I do 3 times a week, so I'm gonna minimum try to do that. Sometimes I get busy and I got to make it up on another day, or I don't get to make it up, but I did it at least twice that week. That's very important. It releases serotonin and makes you feel better. Again, there's been times where I'm like, I don't really want to work out today, but I know I